Hello everybody, hello, and welcome to Part C of our 2010 Pascal paper. We're going to be looking at question 21 in this video. In the diagram, each of the 5 boxes is to contain a number. Each number in a shaded box must be the average of the number in the box to the left and the number in the box to the right. What is the value of x here? So x over on the left. Now, I think there's a couple ways you can do this. Knowing that it's a multiple choice contest, you could take each of these values in turn. For example, 34. And we can sort of just do a little mock 34 here. Knowing that there's a 26 here, 26 must be the average of 34 and this number, and you work it out. And you can see pretty quickly, well, the difference in each of these has got to be the same. So 26 up to 34 needs to be the same as our mystery number up to 26. So a difference of 8 here means we'll have a difference of 8 here, so we'll be looking at 18. And we can work backwards and then do the same sort of thing and figure out, well, 10 should go here, and then a 2 should go here. Well, that's no good. That's no good. Okay? So you can do it that way. There are other ways you can absolutely do this question here. So here's another way you could approach the question. Instead of doing sort of a guess and check, you can use the same sort of principle. Maybe call the positions A, B, C, D, and E. Now you'll notice we are given that A is 8 and D is 26. And you could set up a bunch of relationships, like B must be the average of A and C. Now, I'm not a big fan of fractions, so I could rearrange this as 2b is a plus c. And similarly, we can get c is the average of b and d, so 2c is b plus d. And 2d must be c plus e. And you could take these expressions here and manipulate them appropriately and get an expression in terms of, for e, just in terms of d and a. Okay? So that's a perfectly fine way to do things as well. But I think that's more for someone who really likes algebra, manipulating expressions. The guess and check is for someone who really just likes calculations. Those are fine ways to do the question. But I sort of hinted at the way I want to go through the question. And that would be, okay, I've got x here and 26 here. And I've got an 8 all the way down here. Now, if 26 is the average of, let's call this guy y, or if we want to, we could call him c. But 26 is y, or x plus y over 2. Right, so 52, 2 times 26, is going to be x plus y. Now, instead, we could break this down into 26 minus y is the same as x minus 26. Because really, 52 is 2 26s. And when you realize things like this, you notice, oh, the difference between 26 and x has got to be the same as the difference between y and 26. There's going to be a common difference. Let's not call it d, because we already used d. Let's call it r. There's a common difference r between each of the boxes. They form what is called an arithmetic sequence. Starting at 8, the next box will be 8 plus r, and the next box will be 8 plus 2r, and so on. 8 plus r, 8 plus 2r. 26 is going to be 8 plus 3r, and so that's going to give us a way to figure out what r is. And x, well, that's the last box. That's just going to be 8 plus 4r. Okay, so we rearrange this expression. We'll get 18 is 3r. r is going to be 6, so each term differs by 6. So you could either say 26 plus 6 is got to be x, 32, or you could say x is just 8 plus 4r. So that's 8 plus 26, and that, or 24, and that's going to be 32. Okay. Lots of ways to do the question. Guess and check is fine. Manipulating these expressions up here is fine. I'll do that in a moment, I guess. But 32, I chose to do it by recognizing that you're going to have a nice common difference to get this averaging result. And so that gives us an answer of D. Now, for people who want to guess and check, you can do that on your own. But for people who tried to do it with these expressions here, I thought, it's a video, I can take however much time I'd like to. So I thought I would, at the end here, try and showcase what exactly I'd be talking about. I just want an expression. I want E equals, and I just want something in terms of D's and A's, because I know A is 8 and D is 26. So here's another way to do the question. So I notice I've got an E here, and I could say, well, 2D is equal to C plus E. Now I don't want C. What I'm going to do is try to work up to this A here. So 4D is going to be 2C plus 2E, just multiplying everything by 2, but now this 2C can become B plus D. Cancel out a D on both sides, we'll get 3D is B plus 2E. Now I don't want this B here, I'd really rather have an A. So I'll multiply by 2 again. And now the 2B becomes A plus C. So I've got an A, I've got D's, I've got E's, I just have this pesky C in the way. Okay? And you might think, well, now we have to take this C and start bouncing back towards D. You're never going to be able to get rid of the C that way. But what we can do is take 2 of these D's over here. 2 D's is C plus E. And now I've got a C on both sides. Or sorry, C plus E, not C plus D. But now I've got a C on both sides. I also have an extra E. But C's cancel, an E cancels, and I'll be left with 3 E's here. And rearranging, I'll get E is 4D minus A all over 3. So that'll be 4 times 26, which is 104, minus 8, which is 96, divided by 3 is 32. And that's another way to get it, but you have to be very comfortable manipulating algebra to do this. Okay, but there's 3 different ways I've mentioned to do the question. It's a nice question, and hopefully the questions will continue to be just as nice as we move on to number 22 in the next video.